my channel. Thank you so much for tuning back in. As you can see by the title, today we're going to talk about 5 productive ways to make the most out of your daily commute. I don't know about you guys, but it's taken me over an hour to get home during my commute. So I think it's very important to utilize our time and make the most out of every second of our day, to the best of our ability. Of course, you don't want to overload yourself, but try your best to do things that serves you either mentally, helps your self-development. I know many of you may not be into the whole idea of planning out your day. However, this will definitely help you keep track of getting things done and things that you haven't really gotten to do, which makes you more aware of the things that you should be doing. So find a time during your morning commute on your way to work or school or whatever to figure out what is it that you want to do that day, the things that needs to get done during that particular day, or things that you want to get out of the way, that will help you out later on in the week. Read a book. That's the time that I mostly read my books. I find that it's a time where it's like a me time, but not entirely, right? Because you're like out in public. However, whatever book you decide to read, definitely keep you entertained or help you learn. There's a few ways you can read a book, right? Hardcover book, which is my preference. I like to have the book in my hand, like be able to flip through the pages and highlight. I know you can highlight on a device as well, but for me personally, I'd rather have it in my hand. Actually, I just want to show you guys quickly just a few books that I have here. I've shown you guys this one before, which is 100 Days to Brave. Devotions for unlocking your most courageous self. And That Happiness Advantage. That's how I like to read my books, like this, have it in my hand. And here I have No Limits. So that's the way I prefer to read my books. Of course, you also have Kindle. I do own a Kindle, but I have stopped using it. I might start again because although I don't have the hard book, it still feels like I have it in my hand. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe that's just all in my head, but it still kind of feels like a book in my hand. So yeah, you can get yourself a Kindle. If you have one already, you can download as many books as you can. That's the reason why I got a Kindle, because it felt like, whenever I get tired of a book, whenever I'm always at the end of a book and I didn't want to finish it, I can go ahead and start another book, all in the same device. So that's also another way. And Audible, of course, which, full disclaimer, I am not getting paid to mention Audible. I know a lot of YouTubers do. I do not. Audible is another way that you can read a book. I mean, you're not actually reading it yourself, it's being read to you. So if that's your preference, or if that's something you would like to try, go ahead and try it. Learn a new language. Learning a second, third, fourth, fifth language is amazing. Finding different ways to express yourself, being able to communicate with so many different people around the world. That's one of the things that I do want to do in the future. Soon I would love to learn a second language. Well, I speak English and Spanish, so it won't be my second, it will be like a third. I would love to learn another language, and if possible, maybe even more. I do want to travel, so I want to be able to communicate wherever I travel. Even if it's words here and there, just being able to communicate with other people is amazing, and you get to learn so much more of other cultures. So one way to learn another language is online, of course, right? But that can be a little expensive. You can also go ahead, like, make notes, like index cards or post-its, and write it down and like you read it back to yourself, just practicing on your own. That's another affordable way to do it, because learning a new language is definitely not affordable for the most part. It can be a little expensive. There are also apps that can show you and teach you and help you learn how to speak a new language. That's totally something that's another option for you. Another thing you can do during your commute is set a goal. If there's something that you want to do, if there's something you're working on, create a plan. During your commute, you have enough time to yourself to think, figure out what is it that you want to do. Create a plan and break it down into small steps and continue to break it down, because those small steps are the ones that you can start making, which will, of course, lead you to achieving your goals. Favorite one is text at least 5 people. And I say five, that's if your circle is big. But in the midst of our life, in our day-to-day lives, there's so much that we may have to do with work, school, or just day-to-day things that we have to get done. You may lose sight of what's important, which is the people that are there for us, the people that we love, the people that we do not want to drift away from, So find the time that during your commute can be the time where you text at least 5 people like, hey, how are you? How are you doing? I miss you. When can we catch up? It creates this sense of reminding that person that you haven't forgotten about them and you do in fact miss them and you would like to spend time with them. And I'm sure they will definitely appreciate it. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you again for tuning back in. I truly appreciate you and your time. If you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, because if you click to watch this video, that means you enjoy these kind of videos. I hope you consider subscribing, and don't forget to like this video if you did like this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!